Okay, episode 4 of the Amateur Hour. We have our first guest. Well, apart from our missus in the last one, we have our first
count as guests, mate. They don't count as guests.
We got coached by Christian Chapman, one of the most renowned coaches in the UK, probably in Europe at the moment. Busiest person I know.
I don't know about that, bruv.
Mate, you've been all over the fucking place this year, or last year.
Yeah, we'll see. Next year, but this year better, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. We have questions, from us, and then also questions from, Instagram and people listening. So I thought we'd not waste any time and kind of just get straight into it. Do you want to, Christian, do you want to give us a quick update? How was everything with you, mate?
Yeah, man, all good. Really, I felt the first time, bro, in 12 months, I felt energized and ready. Because I took a holiday off work like 2 weeks ago. Fuck me, bro. I feel like a different person. So yeah, I know this year is going to be mental. So I'm really excited for it.
How was the holiday, big man? Because it looked like, don't get me wrong, it looked like the usual CBC holiday of eating loads of sushi and being in the sunshine. But how was it?
Yeah, mate, it was good, man. It was like 25 to 28 every day.
I'm actually jealous, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
It was good. Food was good. Drinks was good. Yeah, it was just, to be honest, mate, it was good to like, on your phone it tells you your screen time.
Mm-hmm.
You can also see how many times like you get messages a day.
Yeah.
See, I don't. Yeah, but
bro, mine had been like on the run up to that holiday, like 2,000 to 3,000 a day, bro.
Oh,
I'm like, and it had gone down to like 100, and I was like, oh, this is so good. Because to be fair, like clients actually listened, and no one really messaged me, which was like, I couldn't believe it.
Did you feel any sort of? Obviously, I know it's probably nice to step away from it, but does it stress you out doing that as well?
The lead up to it, yeah. But look, everyone knew like well in advance. And I always say, like, if anyone's got a problem with it, like, please say. Yeah. But my answer to that would be, if they've got a problem with it, that's their problem. Because at the end of the day, how much holiday do you get off work a year? They might say 28 days. Okay, do you still get paid? Yeah, man. Okay, well, I'm taking 7, so let me off. I think, look, if you build a good relationship and rapport with your clients and you put in really good service all year round, they ain't got a problem when you take the time off.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, you know what? Normally I would feel a little bit of guilt, but whilst I was there, mate, I was just so happy.
Yeah,
I didn't care, man. Yeah, no.
Yeah, from what I've seen when I've seen you at show days, I'm like, fucking hell. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how that you haven't like flipped out at anyone yet, because I would lose my head in seconds.
I think.
Oh, okay.
See you, Tom.
Carry on.
I don't know, mate. I've had like in excess of 100 clients for like 3.5 years. So it's like I can do over 100 with my eyes shut.
Yeah.
You just get used to it, man. It's like you ride a bike. You know what I mean? You get better at riding it, innit?
Yeah, but you definitely took it from what your was it your first? No, it wasn't it was one of your earlier jobs working in that bar or that hotel or whatever it was, right? Mm-hmm. So like man management was quite like a big thing for you, man.
Yeah, there's that, and it's like you see thousands of people a week, and your job's to kind of like remember them.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And build like relationships with them, so they always come to you, they tip you more, all this sort of stuff. And I think, I think working in bars definitely help because you meet so many different kinds of personalities, and in coaching you meet so many different kinds of personalities that like I don't flip out at someone because I know what their personality is like. It's like they're not doing any of this on purpose. Like they're not trying to piss me off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. I think basically what me and Tommy came up with this podcast was to kind of give a light onto the amateur bodybuilding scene, because there's podcasts talking about like, pros and stuff. But I feel like the way I said it to Tommy when I first said it was if I was prepping and there was a podcast, covering the shows that we were doing, talking about the athletes leading up to, giving it a little bit of like hype towards the shows or whatever, I would fucking love it as an athlete. And I thought that would be something cool to do and to provide. For the future, but for this year, obviously with us both not competing. And I think getting coaches on like yourself, talking about clients, talking about, ones to watch in your opinion, who you're expecting to do well and stuff like that, I think can just give one value, but also, like I said, provide sort of hype towards shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So with that being said, obviously this season hasn't started. With last season's being probably your busiest season so far, how did it live up to your expectations?
To be fair, mate, last year was a fucking blur because you don't, with this job, like anyone that's like relatively busy, you don't really stop with it. So I didn't ever think like, oh, I've got this show coming up and this person can be doing this show and all this sort of stuff. It was like, right, I've got this person, this show, I'm going there this weekend. Cool, let's do that. Let's get them ready, blah, 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 blah. But what was cool was working with like every single kind of athlete in terms of first timers, never been on stage, to IFBB pros in a pro show in a different country and shit like that. Natural shows in different countries, assisted shows. Like, I think any kind of show this year, I did it. Do you know what I mean? Like, multiple abroad. The abroad thing was definitely, I think, probably like the hardest thing to manage. Like, your workload on top of being with that person in person, peaking them in person for the week, and then going to places you're not from. Like, all as bodybuilders, we all like routine, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're out of that routine, bro. And I'm the same with like work when it comes to I like being in a routine in my work, and I don't like people disrupting that routine. So it's just like that was hard for sure. But when I look back on it, like when I was thinking in December, like look back in the year, like I don't actually know how it was like done or possible. Yeah. But now I know that like this year is already going to be busier. So I know I can handle like the amount I did last year. This year might kill me, which is sweet. But I think some of the things that like I've really noticed this year is coaches having a lot more like effort when it comes to being at client shows. I mean, granted, it's always the same people you see, pretty much, and the like rapport you build up. Like, I think I really want to stress to people. I know this is an absolute tangent. Sorry. It's like we're all doing the same job, and we all love bodybuilding. We should all just get on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when I go to show, you guys know what I'm like. I hug everyone. I go and speak to everyone, even if that person probably don't really like me. I'll go and speak to them, whatever. Yeah. And but it's the same coaches, and the amount of really good relationships that are built up this year with other coaches is only because of being at all the shows.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just seeing everyone frequently doing the same fucking job, like it's got.
And I tell you what, like the standard of bodybuilding this year just gone like amateur bodybuilding.
Yeah,
is retard level, and it's more every year. Every year you're like blown away.
It does keep getting better.
Yeah. We spoke about this in one of our other episodes. The first show of last year for Two Bros, for example, like the overall lineup, every single one of them have turned pro this year. Like the standard was that continued throughout the year, even in like PCA and stuff. Like I saw some fucking freaks in PCA.
Bro, this is not me taking anything out of Two Bros or the people that compete there or whatever. I think on an average, if you were to average it out over the year, the standard.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I think with Two Bros, there's always like one that stands out as an absolute freak. Then you have like all right people next to them. But with PCA, it's like 2, 3, 4, 5 people who are just insane.
Yeah, and I think just like as an average across the year, like it was better. And some people that are turning pro in IFBB wouldn't be first in the fucking PCA show.
Yeah.
Some of the lineups, they ain't taking overalls, and it's like, man, like really does reiterate, you know, right show, right fucking time.
Mate, most definitely. But I know you mentioned like obviously at the start of the year, you sort of see, okay, this year's going to be busy. I know you as obviously a person. I know how you work, but other people sort of don't. Is there any way you sort of like get yourself ready for it in terms of like preparing yourself, but also as well, do you set yourself a standard in terms of like, okay, last year I did this, I know I'm going to be doing more, so do you expect yourself to do better in terms of results, or you just sort of like let it happen, or do you put that pressure on yourself?
In terms of preparing for it, I don't do anything because I'm just very much a person, right, this is what I've got to do today, just do it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, right, I just run every day as it is. And it's like, I know my calendar, like I'm so OCD with my calendar. I know exactly what I'm doing every single day for the next fucking 12 months. And it's like, I know this day, right, I've just got to turn up and that's what I've got to do. So I don't do any preparation. I just know what I'm doing in advance. And that's just organisation. So that's my only thing to prepare is just be organised. But I'm just an organised person anyway. And then in terms of, I can't exactly remember the next part of the question.
No, do you like, so for example, like you keep getting better and better each year. Do you feel like you put a lot of pressure on yourself in terms of like, okay, well, this is what I did last year, and then do you feel like obviously there's not the need to do better, but do you feel that urge? Okay, I need to obviously. I got like.
No, I do feel the need to do better. Like I feel that as like a need, and like I think. When I got into this, when I got into any job, like I've always been like motivated by money. I've always had like 2 or 3 jobs at a time and stuff when I was younger, because I just wanted more. And then I've realised when you do get it, I'm like, all right, I'm not motivated by money at all. I'm just motivated by like doing better, getting better results. It's like, mate, dopamine hits all the time. If someone inquires, fuck, I'm buzzing. You know what I mean? And I'm not. It was like, bro, when I sold cars. When I get my commission for selling a car, I wasn't that bothered. I was more bothered if my boss went, oh, bro, good job, man. Yeah. So, like, if I get a client that comes to me and says, man, like, I've never looked this good. Like, Kamara after Prague, she was like, I've never been peaked like that. I've never looked this good. Never been this lean. Oh, man, like, I could cry. Like, I don't care what they've paid me for the last however long. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just, it comes a byproduct of doing all right at something. But I definitely put pressure on myself that like I need to do better, because I like, as much as I don't want to like admit it, but like perception on social media is such like a big thing, and it's like I don't want people to be going, oh, he's not that busy this year. Fuck, that's not good. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, well, I just need to do more, need to get better. But yeah, definitely put a fucking load of pressure on myself for that. But I don't like wake up and like, oh fuck, I'm putting pressure on myself. Bro, I just think I'm just having the back of my head all the time, like, yeah, come on, man.
It is a good thing. It's a good thing. It's that balance, isn't it? Of not like, obviously, like I said, not waking up, putting pressure on yourself, but actually putting that external pressure on yourself to not give us better service or anything like that. Because obviously, you know that you provide the best service, in my opinion. But like in just terms of like making sure that you are putting that pressure on yourself in a good way, in a positive way, rather than a negative way.
Yeah, oh man, I used to do it in a negative way like all the time, man. Like, you know, some months, like everyone will know this in coaching, like November, not a great month for coaching normally. And, you know, you'd have multiple drop-offs. And man, 2 years ago, I'll be trying to jump out the window. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, like it's all going to shit. I'm going to lose my business. Everyone's going to leave, all this sort of stuff. When you've experienced that November 5 years running, you know what's coming. You put things in place to maybe not let that happen. And then when people do leave, I don't put the pressure on myself like, fuck, I need to regain them clients. I'm like, yeah, I know it'll come back if I just keep doing my thing. So it's, you know, it's just a nice amount of pressure. Like I'm not like an anxious mess or anything like I used to be with it. Like, you know, fuck, 5 clients have left. I'm going to kill myself. You know, it's like, now it's just like, yeah, man, like people come back.
No, it's true. You know, it's true. Because like what I've learned from you, and this is what I've thought this year, because obviously it's mine and Connor's first year. Is it your first year of putting clients on stage, Con? So it's my first. So I've got 3. I think Connor's got 3, 4. And I literally thought at the start of the year, like, what would Christian do? He wouldn't put pressure on himself. He'd just try and do the best and just keep doing what he's doing. So like,
at the end of the day,
this is the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah. Just do it. You know, the only thing I would say is like top tips for people like first time putting them on stage, get them ready early. So do not be afraid to push people fucking hard. Yeah. Because it is never nice having to say to someone, hey mate, you're doing an hour of cardio every day and you're eating 1,300 calories. I don't want to say that to anyone. But they've also asked me to get them on stage and be peeled. So if that's what you do,
that's just why. Yeah, this is why I've got like Lewis ready a little bit early. Like he's 12 weeks out, and like his mates are messaging me going like, so I got a mate messaging him going, "Oh mate, Lewis is looking great," and I'm like, "Cheers for telling me, man. I know he's good." In my mind, I'm thinking he needs to be because obviously he's the first person put on stage. So, but nah, I definitely agree. But it's just like putting that.
It's like It's like
It's like a balance, mate. That's all it is. Good, putting good pressure on you, not thinking like, bloody hell, waking up every day thinking, mate, he hasn't messaged me. Is he all right? Is he all good? But other than that, no, it's all good. This is why it's good to, because I know you I know you, I think I know you not inside out, but I've got a very good perception of like what you think, how you do things. So I knew you were going to answer that sort of thing. You're the most organised person I know. But it's always good to get people.
Yeah, just be organised, man. Like, we're coaching, things can
Most
get
definitely.
like real out of hand real quick.
Mm.
And you just got to be on it, man. Like, just wake up and do your fucking job. Like, I get it, because like when people go self-employed, you essentially create your working day, and some people, you know, use it as excuse. Oh, well, I can just get up at 9. Like, right, well, your client's been up for 3 hours and they doesn't know.
I put up a story, but people do like evening check-ins. What is this all about, mate? Finish off my evening check-ins or third block. And I'm thinking, what, you want a third block? Oh my lord. I'm not doing anything unless they're all done. Doesn't matter what they're doing.
I think it's one of those things. I remember someone telling me when I first wanted to start like posting on social media, is like, I'm pretty sure I've seen Christian say it as well in your story before, but like, you have to treat it like it's your job in order to make it work, to make it your job. You have to treat it like it's your job. So it's the same thing with like going self-employed, starting coaching. Like, act as if it's a fucking 9 to 5, like, or even more, act as if you're being fucking employed to do it.
The thing is, for me, mate, it's like if you turn up to your job late, you get sacked. Yeah. If you leave early, you get sacked. So I'm my boss, and I don't want to disappoint me. Do you know what I mean? And I also know that if I don't wake up at a certain time, I ain't getting it all done. And I don't want that fucking shit. Like, I hate that feeling of I'm behind. I hate that. So it's just, man, just like I said, treat it like it's your own thing. And at the end of the day, if you don't do well, your clients leave, then you've got no job, then you've got no money. Yeah. Surely that's enough incentive to just work hard.
Definitely, man.
Talking, so obviously last season was a big one for you, but you've mentioned that the next one is going to be even bigger. What makes you say, is it just purely based on you've got a lot more clients coming in this year wanting to compete, or?
Yeah, a lot more clients that already, shows are booked, everything's going. Like last year, I only think I had like one at the start of the year, which was in March, which was in Spain. And then I had a break, man, for like fucking 3 months. And it was like everyone had booked in like July, August, September, fucking October, November, and also December, apparently. So I had a bit of like a respite at the start, and I was like, oh man, I don't think it's going to be that busy. But I know that every year, because it happens more and more every year, someone comes to me mid-prep.
The saviour, Christian the saviour, that's what he is.
Yeah. I like that because it's hard.
Yeah.
So it's not, oh man, I know I've been working with him for a year in an off season. And I know how he body responds. I've got to work this person out really quick. Okay, cool. You're checking in every day now for the next fucking 9 weeks until show, because I need to know this right. And that's the kind of pressure.
See, that's what I want to tap into a little bit though, mate. Because a lot of people would be like, nah, I can't. Or not nah, but like, I think a lot of it is down to. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think because they know that the standard that you uphold, I think deep down you know that person's come to the right person, because you know that nobody else is going to fulfill their needs as greater as you are, in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, and mate, at the end of the day, if someone comes to you and it's 9 weeks out and they're an absolute fat mess, I'm going to say no, obviously. Yeah. But if I think, right, that's probably doable, it's going to be hard, let's go. It's right, next day you set up, you're ready to go. And at the end of the day, mate, food is food, cardio is cardio. Like, you're not going to fuck it up, really, unless that person's come to you in an absolute shit show from someone. And I don't know, but there's always a way to sort things. And if you don't try, you don't know.
Yeah.
But I just know, right, if I get them there, and I can say, fucking hell, this guy came to me 8 weeks out, and we've done this work, he's going to be buzzing his tits off. He's going to tell everyone. Everyone's going to talk about it on social media. Right, I get more clients. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And it's good, like, practice. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not every day you put someone on stage and you peak someone. Like, it's a very small window that you have of the year. And, I want to practice. I want to do that more, because it's experience, and you're going to see different things, and people are going to react in different ways, and you think, right, I know this guy, he reacted like this before. I did this with him and that worked, so I'm going to do that. Do you know what I mean? And your eye gets better as well.
Yeah, because obviously you're learning every time you do it, because not every peak's the same. So just figuring out everyone on the go is kind of the best way to go, isn't it?
I think that was a massive thing I learned this year, because there was more and more people, more and more different types of bodies, male, female, all sorts of stuff. And experimenting was fucking fun. Like, I think I did
Big Nick,
Tom. Yeah, man. Like he was another one. He came to me at 4 weeks out, and now I've been working on.
Mate, ridiculous, by the way. Ridiculous, Rick.
Yeah, he's 270, pretty lean.
Yeah.
Somehow. But anyway, I think we did like fucking 5 peaks with him, and we tried fucking all sorts sometimes. Like, we had a good formula, but it was kind of like tweaking like drugs and stuff like that. And he has to be careful because he holds fluid on a lot of things, and it's just like, you put in something like Halo, and it looks like you give him D-ball. And it's like, right, we're not going to use that then, bruv. Put your feet up,
Hashtag
because your ankles are looking fat, bruv. Yeah, big edema. And then it's like, you do that with some people, and it's like they literally just get fuller and harder. And again, like, also experimenting with different things. A couple of people, like, get them to use actual diuretics, which, not previously done before. We just normally use, like, natural diuretics and stuff. And, having people that I compete continuously, who I know their bodies well and stuff like that. It's like, and I know they're willing to trial things. If it means they can be a little bit better, they're just going to do it. And people like Jack.
Mate, I knew you were going to mention Fleming. I learned so much off him, man. Like, honestly, like, it was actually invaluable, the stuff I learned from him and how he approached it and everything. He is the most chilled out, laid back person I have literally ever met in my life. Ever.
Honestly, I've never worked with anyone like it. He just does it day in, day out, and he's so laid back, he's fucking horizontal. Like, he had some, like, traumatic things go on in prep.
Ridiculous.
Not get phased
ridiculous, mate.
All. Just, yeah, man, let me know what you need me to do. Yeah, sounds.
Connor, that's what it literally was like. We're around Christians, and the Christian's like, yeah, what do you need me to do, mate? And, he's there like, yeah, mate, this, that, tomorrow. He goes, yeah, mate, see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock. He goes, yeah, I'll be around at 5:30, mate, just taking my shot. I'm thinking, this guy, mate, couldn't be more laid back if he tried. But I learned so much from him, mate. Yeah. Learned so much. Obviously, we might talk about it, but I'm like sort of the guy that needs to know, like, not needs to know, but likes to know, like, the impossible. I like to know the impossible, the questions that cannot be answered, basically. Yeah. And this guy's next.
Yeah, and look, like, there's so many people like that. Like, I had someone message me the other day who's going to be on prep soon. He's like, right, what's my ideal, like, weight to lose? I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer. The ideal weight to lose is as much as you need to get skinned. So just do that, bro. Don't even look at the weight. Just tell me.
That's what it is. But I got this guy, mate, who's just like so chilled, and he just came in the next morning, mate, and he was looking ridiculous. And I was there like, it just goes to show how much stress actually affects. And that, I want to sort of delve into that as well with what you find with amateurs, or like people. Obviously, you coach. I know you coach a few pros, Christian, with like Kamara and stuff like that, and I know you've coached pros before. But what's the biggest mistake you see? This is actually a question I got on one of my Instagram questions. What's the biggest mistake you see in amateurs, like going into their preps and actually within their preps as well? And you can use me as an example if you want.
I'm not going to do you like that, bro. Don't do what Tom does. No, I'm joking. So I think the biggest mistake, I'm not going to say mistakes. People putting far too much pressure on themselves, doing it for the wrong reason, trying far too hard to be quote unquote optimal, and being bothered by what they're seeing on social media that other people are doing. Because there's a million ways to fucking skin a cat, and all of us coaches work in similar ways, yeah, but they're going to do different things. And you're going to look at them and go, why is my coach not doing that? If I wanted you to do it, bruv, I'll be telling you, bruv. Okay, you have come to me for me to do a job. just let me do my job, okay? Because I applaud people asking questions about why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that. I don't applaud people questioning me, because there's a difference, okay? I work, and I say this to every client pretty much every week, near enough. I work in a results-driven industry, okay? If I don't get results, I don't get clients. I'm literally going to tell you what I think is the best thing to do. Because the better you do, the better I look, you dick. Okay? So just do that, please, because I am invested in making you look as good as possible. Because it affects me.
Yeah.
How you look affects me. So I'm going to get you to do what I think is the best. Now, that doesn't mean I think I know the best and all that sort of stuff. I've got a pretty good idea. Okay. But yeah, just that like comparing people's preps to the others and concentrating like, oh, fucking hell, I've missed my meal by 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, bruv. Okay. I get trying to be on it and stuff. That's sweet, man. Okay. Try and have the same kind of go to bed time, wake up time, stuff like that. Have a really good routine and stuff like that. But also know that your routine is probably going to be affected at least once or twice a week. Most of the time. Don't stress it. It's like the stress is the killer of anyone's physique, anyone's fat loss. Some people more than others. Some people can be stressed for the entire prep and you'd never know. Yeah. Some people, bro, they're stressed through a day and it's like, right, this guy's fucked. And it's all of a sudden it's the worst thing that's ever happened to them. Just relax, man. Like if you're working with a good coach, they want to get you in shape and they're going to be telling you to do the right things. Just try and switch off. I know it's so much easier said than done, and I can talk about this because I used to be that guy of like everything needs to be fucking to the minute. And if it's not, I'm going to lose my shit. Mm. And now I'm just, granted, I don't look like what I used to be, but if I wanted to do that, I can do that without getting stressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, just follow the plan. Stop trying to look for the new ways of doing shit.
That's the biggest thing. You've nailed every single mistake that I see people do. Overthinking things, trying to look optimal on their store. Like that's the biggest one for me. People trying to look optimal and do the most optimal thing when they can just do the basics and just literally get the same job done. Like literally. Just eat your meals.
Just eat your meals, man.
Like, that's all.
Eat them. And again, it's like, okay, another mistake. Trying to cure your hunger. It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to be hungry, so just shut up. I'm dieting right now, and unfortunately, because I ain't been on my game that much, if I want to diet now, I'm going to have to go pretty savage with calories, and I'm cool with that. I literally experience zero hunger and zero cravings at the moment. Like, nothing. I'm not bothered about food. I don't give a shit. I'm pretty much eating chicken and rice 3 times a day and another meal and a shake. Yeah. It's fucking easy. But I used to be like, right, I've got to get the best sauces, the best syrups, the best fucking nut butters, dark chocolates. And man, I used to hoard the shit. And I'm like, I look back and now I'm like, you were a walking eating disorder. Yeah. And it's just like, just accept the fact, man, if you want to get peeled, bro, you're going to be hungry. And if I want to get lean in the next 12 weeks, I'm going to accept that I'm going to be hungry. I'm probably going to have to do cardio that I don't want to do at all, but I'm going to do it because
that's it.
Prove a fucking point. But stop. I haven't had one diet. Granted, I have a Monster every day, but I don't need it to keep my fucking eyes open. I don't walk to the shop to get a can of fucking Pepsi Max Cherry and what I know what it tastes like. I'll have it whenever. It's not curing any hunger at all. It just tastes good, bro. Yeah. Get on with it.
I think what you touched on there was the hoarding was probably the biggest mistake I made on my first prep. Anytime I got hungry or like craved, I love fucking.
Don't say, bro.
I would order them and then put them in the cupboard and leave them there. And then after prep, I had about 20 kilos worth of sweets, and they were gone within 3 weeks. And I felt it ruined me. It was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah, don't hoard stuff, man. Don't hoard stuff.
That's one thing I happily say I didn't do.
It was terrible.
I did not do that.
Yeah, I was surprised as well, to be fair, Tom.
by not eating them. And then as soon as prep was done, I ate them all. I was like, fuck, I've done it. That was the worst thing I've done.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Another sort of question that I had rather than Instagram was, are there any coaches in the industry that you know or maybe don't know in person, but that you look to for either inspiration or like, say if you generally just had a question, are there any like coaches that you'd go to ask that maybe?
Yes. I think, look, you can learn something from everyone.
Yeah.
100%. And, you know, I've paid for multiple consults with people that are cleverer than me. Cleverer?
Doesn't matter, mate. Doesn't matter if it's a word or not.
More clever. Fuck 'em. So who have more knowledge on certain subjects than me.
Yeah.
You know, and there is something to learn from everyone. And is there certain people I would go to with certain things? Yeah. If I want to talk about drugs, I want to learn about a certain drug, I go to Joe or I go to Tom Hames. Simple. Joe, if I want the complicated answer. Tom Hames, if I want the, yeah, man, just use this amount.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, bro, safe. Like me, I've been in a group chat now for, I think, I want to try and can you see?
I think the only time you can probably do that is like look at probably the first ever photo that was sent in there, and then you probably get a good idea. Go to the message.
Oh, no, I found it. This group was created by Joe Jeffrey on the 29th of August, 2019.
Yeah.
So we're 4.5 years strong of the bloke gods, which is me, Joe, Cal, Tom Hames, Matt Strong. And granted, there's not much knowledge floating around in there. It's normally fucking chatting shit. But if there's anything we ever need to like run by someone, or how much would you use here, guy? What do you think this guy looks like? I just whack stuff in there, man. Because, you know, that's an experience panel there of like 40 years worth of experience. Do you know what I mean? Collectively. But then, like, bro, even, I don't want to say even, like, when I was in Netherlands, Martin was there. Martin Winston. Now, I love Martin. On a personal level, I think he's great. On a business level, I think he's great. Love what he's doing, all sorts of stuff. Like, he's worked with a lot bigger people than me. So, I coach one of his clients' misses, okay? And his client turned pro that weekend, that T-Bolt. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah, weapon.
Big boy. Now, I've known T-Bolt now for like fucking 3 years, and he's a legend, man. I love him. But talking to Martin about what he was doing with him to peak him for shows back-to-back, like Saturday and Sunday. And it was really comforting knowing that, like, yeah, if I was going to do something, I'd be doing that with him. And he was like, yeah, did this. I was like, that's not just saying it. That's what I would have done. That's pretty sick. Because, again, you come accustomed to certain body types that you work with. Like, I work with a lot of females now. And it's like, Martin doesn't work with any. So it's like, if Martin started working with females, maybe go, bro, what would you do in this scenario? And I've got someone fucking really big. I remember sending pictures of Jack Fleming to Tom Hames. Mid-prep and stuff. No, towards the end of the prep. Towards the start of his first show. And he literally guessed what I was doing there. And then he was like, you're really digging for glutes right now, aren't you? And I was just like, yeah, how'd you know that? And he went, because he's got no top line at the moment. I was like, yeah. So, and he, you know, gave me some valuable advice of like, you know, don't just go for glutes.
Yeah.
With certain people. So, yeah, it's, bro, there's stuff to learn from a lot of people. I'm not going to say everyone, because there's a lot of absolute bullshit in this industry, unfortunately. But that would be the same in any industry.
Yeah.
But it circles back to the fact of what you made at the start, where you go and see coaches. At the end of the day, you all have the same passion and love for bodybuilding, and that's what they're all there for. So you see the people that actually don't give you bullshit and give you like straight up answers and trying to help you. It shows that.
Yeah. Bro, if any coach was asking me what I'm doing with someone, I'm like, oh, well,
That's the thing. I think the actual coach. I think, why is he asking? Why is he asking? All they're trying to do is it's actually quite a compliment if somebody is asking, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking right it is. Man, if a coach asks me what I'm doing...
It's like me not utilising like you or Tim, for example, when I'm doing my first peak of my clients. I'm thinking, well, imagine me asking them. Now I'm going to do it myself. Nah, it's like I'm going to ask them because they know more than me.
Yeah, that would be stupid, bro. Because, like, mate, at the end of the day, your results...
That's a thing. That's a thing.
On me. I'm not. I mean, you put out fat bastards, bro, on the stage.
That's why I'm remember the early, mate. Early doors. Early doors.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ready 12 weeks out.
But no, that's class. Do you want to go through some questions, Connor?
Yeah, go on. I'll pull.
That was a nice little curve. We went for a bit there.
I got quite a few really good ones. Because I've obviously, I know, Chris, you've done loads of fucking podcasts. So I feel like everyone's sort of asked you the same sort of questions. But the ones I've got, I'm not sure that I've heard you answer.
That's
yet,
good.
So I think they'd be pretty good. Okay, so someone said, would love to know your mentality on the days that you don't feel like doing niche. So essentially, when you are unmotivated, what do you think about to get you like getting into gear?
That doesn't happen, mate. That doesn't happen in Christian.
Yeah, look, no, mate. There's so many days where I wake up and man, especially towards like the latter part of last year, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this week. Like, I don't actually physically think I can do it. Like, I said that so many times. Like, people I was around, I was like, man, I don't actually think I can finish this week off. Like, I can't do it. All sorts of stuff. But the work is sat in front of me and isn't going to get done unless I do it. So I have to do it. Yeah. And that's the same with, like, you know, I don't want to go to the gym sometimes, but I know the gym makes me feel better and it's working me towards a goal. And I want to get bigger. I don't want to be a fat coach, all this sort of stuff. I want to prove I can still do the things that, you know, I've done before and all this sort of stuff. And like, man, no one's going to feel sorry for you. Like, so just get on with it. Like, talk about it to people and stuff like that for sure. Like, definitely utilize that, but especially with coaching. You know, I sit in my office all day on my own. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily fun all the time, especially when, like, you know, a lot of clients do unload their stuff onto you, which is fine. But mentally, it takes a massive toll on you, 100%. You know, if you surround yourself with people that are depressed, you're probably going to become depressed yourself. Do you know what I mean? Not saying all my clients are depressed, by the way. I'm just saying in general. So, yeah, some of them. But no, just unfortunately, there is no cheat code for that. Of like, well, if you just do this, you'll be motivated. Man, just get it done, because, like, if I don't do it, I lose my job.
Yeah, that's enough motivation, like, on its own.
Yeah, it should be anyway.
Yeah. Should all.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those things that once you get started with the day, like, it kickstarts you into gear, and you kind of just like, okay, cool, this is fine. Like,
yeah, I'm in a groove.
Yeah.
Goodness me. Of course, mate. Of course. So we got something you'd never normally see in a sandwich that would bang.
Oh, no.
This is what I thought as well, to be fair, considering, like, but then I think
the first sandwich I thought of was probably the last sandwich I had, which I don't know why it's just immediately coming to my head. Me and Liam had got to Netherlands, and I needed to work to, like, finish off check-ins. It was, like, quite early. He's like, I'm going to go shop. Do you want anything? I was like, just surprise me, man. I need some food. And he came back with a loaf of white bread, like cooked, like, you know, like salamis and like mixture of different meats. And he literally, like, unpacked it and just put it into the sandwich, like, all in a row. And then also got, like, cheese, like slices of cheese, and just slammed it on that. And bro, it was one of the best sandwiches I've had. Banging. Gourmet. Yeah. But in terms of mate, everything you can put anything on a sandwich.
Well, there it is then. Something you'd never. Well, anything goes in a sandwich. So there you go. There you have it. Anything and everything.
Anything goes.
I actually thought of my sort of prep crave of bananas, but then I thought, you know what, bananas and sandwiches sounds pretty good. I remember that, man. Mate, I remember that with with Christian saying, "Bro, can I just have bananas with my chicken and rice?" Yeah, bro, let's have some bananas. Oh god. Oh mate, funny times. Anyway, Colin, we'll go 1 for 1, mate. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So this is one that will only apply if you've seen the film. So first of all, have you seen the film Saltburn?
No.
You haven't?
No.
No, I'm not a film
Tiny
guy,
Tom.
mate. I can't sit still for 2 hours.
Oh, well, I'll leave that one then. What are some red flags when you have
Great
people
question.
applying for coaching?
You know what? I don't ever listen to red flags.
Clearly not.
Clearly.
Because I'm there to prove. I'm going to prove a point. So like I've had people messages. You know when I put like a setup video up.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, this person's a right coach hopper. Blah blah. I'm like, yeah, Sam, man, no worries, man. I don't care because they're probably a coach hopper because the coaches are going to a shit. You know, like this is not me taking. I know some of the coaches this girl was previously with, and one of them definitely isn't shit, but just didn't gel. Jen, for example, like she used to coach hop. Sweet. Well, I've been coaching for 64 weeks, so she's not a coach hopper. She just needs to find the right fucking thing. Yeah. But red flag. I need to actually give a proper answer. Okay, this is a red flag for me because it pisses me off. Someone inquires, you send them the inquiry response video, you send them a voice note and sort of stuff, and then they reply like 3 weeks later. I'm like, what have you been doing? Like, this doesn't sound good already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if I took 3 weeks to reply to you for your fucking inquiry, you're probably going to think I'm a shit coach. Well, I'm going to think you're a shit client.
That is bang on, to be fair. That is bang on. One physique last season that blew you away. I thought that was a good question when it came through. And so you can go like, I know you saw like natural and assisted guys. Like, for example, first one that came to me was Nattersley, Tim's client.
Yeah, very good. He is very good. I'll be honest, if we're going to go, we'll go Natty's first. Me seeing Joe Gillen in person for the first time and just blew my head off. I was like, the keys are
ridiculous,
disabled, man. Like we kept saying we're going to put him in disabled class. It was like people were actually laughing when he came out because it was that mental. Yeah. Like that was dumb from a conditioning standpoint. Insane. Let me have a think. Oh, most insane thing I've seen in person. Samson Dowder. Yes. That was sick, man. That was there was a lot of people in Prague that I saw that was just out of this world. Like how full and like looked like he was going to burst. Nathan Diasha was like, it literally looked.
I think in some shows he nailed the look this year. Nathan did. Nathan really nailed it down, which is good to see. Yeah, he did, yeah. In that show against Regan, he definitely did.
Who else, man?
Hey, what a look that was at the finals as well.
Fucking and just the nicest guy in bodybuilding.
Yeah,
honestly, the nicest fucking guy. That was really impressive. I'm trying to think back to some shows now. I'm scrolling on Insta.
The reason why I say Hattersley is just because I compared him to the guys at the FitX shows, the PCA shows, and he blew everyone away, mate. Everyone. It was like night and day difference, and the guy's natty, or he was natty at the time, mate, and he was blowing people out of the water. And I'm thinking, this guy is sick.
Do you know what stood out to me about him?
Mate,
was his like
up
on stage.
Mate, he thought he got named. He thought he got second, bro. He was still smiling out. Then realised he came first because they called out the wrong number. Mate, he came out second. He literally thought he was second, having the biggest smile on his face ever, mate. And I'm thinking that's what it's all about, bro. It doesn't matter whether he's like first, third, whatever. Mate, next thing you know, obviously he came first and obviously won the overall in the whole show. But in this class, he thought he came second and still was coming out smiling. So, but as well, Kamara's look, mate. Definitely. She looked nuts.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
she looked nuts, mate.
Like I was fucking bad. Yeah, it was good. That was. She looked just. I don't think. Like I genuinely don't think I could have done anything better. Like, and that's not me like sucking myself off. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't think she could have been peaked better. Don't think she could have been fuller, harder, drier. Like, it's just perfect for figure. She'll do really well this year.
Definitely. Is that our plan to? Yeah, I think she's one of the
Nice.
person that's like, if it happens, it happens. Yeah, I rate that.
Yeah, she's very chill.
What was her feedback from the show?
Exactly what we said. I mean, to be fair, if she went to America,
Completely agree.
the result would be completely different.
Yeah.
Because the judging is literally like
Mhm.
they're judging two different fucking categories.
Mm.
So been at a Europe show, bigger, bit more delt, bit more back, bit more quad.
Yeah.
But try and keep everything else as it is in terms of like her
Which
weight.
I don't really see in detriment, to be honest, because she's not really done that much like specific figure training, has she? So
No. And like the waist and stuff, I mean, her waist was fucking huge at the end of off season. No offense to her, but when I look back at the picture,
she was huge.
fucking hell, she was big. And then it's like I don't even know how her waist came back to that. It was fucking mental.
Silly, isn't it? I've got one here. So obviously, it depends how you want to answer it. But were there any clients of yours this season that stood out to you the most? That made you this is poorly worded, but stood out to you the most that made you the proudest. So essentially, your favorite, or not favorite, but one of your prouder transformations this year.
Fuck's sake. That's hard, bro. Can't put me on my toes like that. Let me scroll through. Hold on.
If I was going to say, just because I know him as well, I think what you did with Joel Davies.
You know what? That did come into my head.
Because I honestly, when I saw that he wanted to do a show, the first thing that came to my head was he wouldn't see it through. Like he's just a TikToker, whatever. But he got fucking peeled, and honestly couldn't.
So that was one I was gonna. That was one of the first ones I thought of because if we go back to the red flag question, who's a coach in red flag? A fucking influencer.
Yeah.
Because you just think they're not going to take it seriously. They're going to film fucking 10K calorie challenges and then tell you after. This kind of thing. And I'm looking at pictures of him now, to be fair. Like, the first show, we'd organised to do a show, and then about 3 weeks later he said, can we do this other show, which was 7 weeks earlier? And I was like, are you fucking for real, bruv? And essentially the prep was only, I think, 12 weeks in the end. And bro, the kid was fucking peeled. It was his first ever prep. He handled it so well. I was genuinely proud of him because, like, when you're that big on social media, just an example, the guy's got nearly 1 million followers on TikTok. You know, he's got over 100K subscribers on YouTube. Like, that's not small. Do you know what I mean? He's now sponsored by Gymshark, stuff like that. Like, people are watching, and that's a lot of pressure, and a lot of people can't handle the pressure. Because their whole life is being watched, and it's like, shit, I've got to do it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, he exceeded like all my expectations.
Love that.
Yeah.
And the fact that he really enjoyed it. Another one for me, actually.
Mate, I knew you were going to say that. Big up, custom body sub.
Because he tried to get on stage, I think 4 or 5 times before that, and bottled it. Like, either
with you or with someone else.
No, with others, but I did try and prep him the year before, and we had to pull the prep. And honestly, he looked retarded. He looked great. And he got there with no hiccups at all, which I was, no offense to him, I was in shock because I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And then went on to do multiple shows with no issues and literally fell in love with bodybuilding again.
Yeah.
And just being on stage, because he had been on stage before and, you know, got some really good results. You know, did really well in the PCA show with the best fucking medium bodybuilding lineup I've fucking seen that year. Did really well in that. NFM Pro, won his class, went into overall, hung with the big boys. Like, yeah, you know, just great. It was, and then he also did the finals, and again he looked mental. So, you know, that was a good one.
Custom bodies, Tom. Yeah. What a guy, mate.
Yeah.
I've got another one here. How do you manage different clients with different personalities? Obviously, you probably asked that because you work with so many different clients, but is there different ways? How do you manage different people? I know you might have somebody that you might talk to every single day. I know you used the example once in a Physique Collective seminar where you talk to one person and they go, "Yep, sorted," and then you talk to another person and it's like every single day, like you're talking to them every single day to keep their head on. But is that how?
Yeah, mate. Unfortunately, the answer here is just experience. Yeah. The more people you work with, the more personalities you become accustomed to, and the better you get at dealing with certain personalities. Like, I know what I can get away with some person than I can with the other. I know how I have to speak to some. Might be softly. Other people might need, all right, you fucking prick, get on with it. Do you know what I mean? And that's how they do better. Unfortunately, it's time and experience.
I agree.
Yeah. One, obviously, Tommy just touched on Physique Collective. So someone's asked, when did you know it was the right time to move on from the Physique Collective and go your own way?
I'd been thinking, like, to be fair, I'm quite, if I get an idea in my head, I just go and do it. I hadn't been thinking about it that long, and I just spoke to people that I trust. And before I'd even said what I was going to talk about, like, I remember I messaged Cal, and I was like, bro, I need to ask you a question about something. He's like, I already know what you're going to say. I'm like, what's that? He's like, you want to leave Physique Collective? I was like, fucking how did you know that? He said, because it's the right time for you to leave, because you are your own thing. And I know that deep down. And I was so glad that I did do Physique Collective, because I learned a lot of stuff and how to work in a team. I'm not very good at it, unfortunately. But I also learned the biggest thing about me is that I am just my own thing. And I want to do my own thing. In terms of knowing it was the right time, I thought it was the right time because I thought I can bring more to the table for me on my own than being part of that. Like, I knew if I just went on my own, well, there's always an element of doubt, like, oh, it might not work. But I just thought I wouldn't have gone if I didn't think it was going to fucking work out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there's obviously no like bad blood or anything like that. I still talk to them all the time. I'm still in the group chat. Let's go. But yeah, if I get an idea, it's normally within a week I'm going to do it.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think one question that I got asked quite a few times, which I think would be quite a good one to go out with, is, do you have predictions for the 2024 Arnolds, either UK or America, because they're pretty much the same lineup?
No.
Do you follow bodybuilding properly, or do you just focus purely on?
Come on, bro. Of course I do.
Yeah, but do you actually, or do you just do your?
Of course I do, bro. Come on. You know what? There's one person I really want to do well, and that's James.
Yes.
I don't make predictions because people always go back in predictions. Oh, you got it wrong. All this shit. So I really like John De La Rosa.
Yeah.
And I know he's competing again. He's not going to do amazing, I don't think, but I do want to see him do well. I fucking hate the big neck guy. Fucking hate him. It's an absolute mess. Well, I saw it in person, bro, in Prague, and it was just a mess on stage.
It's just a freak, though, isn't it? It's something to look at.
Which I understand, but I'm just like,
I agree.
It just looks
I
shit.
agree.
Yeah.
No offense. Want to see Hollingshead do well, like I said. Samson, no offense, a bit fucking bored of the geezer now.
It's just everywhere, isn't it?
It's fucking everywhere, man. But fair play, man. He's got a fucking living.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if he manages, obviously depending on the outcome of the Arnolds, I think there was something saying if he manages to take the win in both these Arnolds in a space of 12 months, he's earned probably the most that a bodybuilder has ever earned just from show fee,
mate. Fair play to the guy, mate. Fair play to the dude. Honestly, like, I know for how long he's been actually doing bodybuilding, it's not that long compared to others, mate. I'd do the exact same if I was him as well. If I was in his shoes, if I had his genetics, buddy, I'll be here, there, and everywhere. Man's buying, like, he's moving like CBC. He's getting McLarens.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. I've seen him try to get out of it when I was down at Factory Gym, and watching him try to get out of that car is an absolute joke. I bet he isn't. I really bet he isn't, mate. Guaranteed.
3.
From my one experience of sitting in Christian's, I honestly can't imagine it at Samson's sites.
But I'm thinking, because obviously Andrew Jack's pulled out, hasn't he? So that's a big loss. I think it'll be.
It really
That's all it is now.
Paddy and Samson, isn't it? But I think it just depends what the judges want, really. If it's condition, it's most likely going to go to Haddy. If it's symmetry, size, presence. Obviously, the whole Haddy walking off stage at the Olympic could play a role in what the judges think of him.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between them two. I'd love to see James up there. It's just a massive lineup, so it'll be cool to see.
God, bloody hell, man, it's good. Okay, this one's a bit poorly worded, but due to experience, which which I'm guessing federation, was worst that he experienced? And I'm guessing he is you, Christian.
If you've got anything about you or any self-respect, don't do a fit extra. There you go.
I'm glad we did the same thing there.
Not sorry.
What was that one show you put on your story? You were there for like 7 hours or something. It was like one of those natty shows.
WMB.
It was like a ridiculously long day.
Every natty show, bro. Every natty show. UK DFBA, the guy talks about the guy's life story before he brings people on. Long days.
Long days, man.
We'll just say fit X at the bottom. Everything else is pretty decent. So,
yeah.
You got any more, Con?
Sound. I've gone.
Yeah, my ones are all pretty like. I've listened to mainly every single podcast that Christian's been on, and these are just the generic ones, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ones that have already been answered and asks already, which I'm guessing people would have already done. So, but mate, I think we've covered absolutely everything that we needed to. Obviously, coaching, all that. We've obviously got through the answers there as well. It's been absolutely class, mate. Thank you for coming on. But
thanks,
mate. As always, we appreciate it as always, big man. But this is episode 4. Like, subscribe, comment, tag us in the stories. Connor always says that. Sure. Tag us in the stories whenever you are listening. Tag Christian as well in the stories. People want to see Christian. Tag Christian in the stories. Tag everyone. But as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.